Many years ago, there was a great king who ruled a prosperous kingdom. He was known for his wealth and power, yet he was deeply unhappy. One day, he summoned a wise sage and asked, "How can I find happiness?" The sage, with a serene smile, replied, "O mighty king, travel to the poorest village in your kingdom and give freely to those in need. Do this with a heart full of compassion, expecting nothing in return, and you shall find the answer you seek." The king, puzzled but desperate, decided to follow the sage's advice. He adorned himself in simple clothes, and leaving behind his royal entourage, journeyed to the most destitute village in his realm. Upon arrival, he saw dilapidated huts, children with hollow eyes, and families struggling to survive. Moved by their plight, the king began to distribute his wealth. He gave away gold, food, and clothing, ensuring that each villager received something. As he handed out his treasures, he noticed the joy and relief on their faces. Children laughed and played, mothers wept tears of gratitude, and fathers bowed with respect and thankfulness. Days turned into weeks, and the king continued his acts of giving. He found himself immersed in the lives of the villagers, helping them rebuild their homes, planting crops, and teaching skills that would sustain them. The more he gave, the more his own heart seemed to lighten. The burdens he had carried as a king began to dissipate, replaced by a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. One evening, as the king sat by a fire surrounded by villagers who now considered him a friend, he felt a deep contentment he had never known before. He realized that true happiness was not found in the accumulation of wealth and power, but in the act of giving and sharing. Years passed, and the king's acts of generosity transformed the entire kingdom. But one fateful day, a neighboring empire, envious of the kingdom's prosperity, launched an unexpected attack. The kingdom's defenses were overwhelmed, and the palace was besieged. The king, along with a few loyal advisors, barely escaped with their lives, seeking refuge in the very village he had once helped, exhausted and wounded. The king and his advisors were found by the villagers. Recognizing their benefactor, the villagers did not hesitate. They took the king into their humble homes, tending to his wounds and offering him food and shelter. The same people who had once been uplifted by the king's generosity now became his protectors. Under the cover of night, the villagers devised a plan. They knew the terrain better than the invaders and used this knowledge to guide the king and his advisors to a hidden cave deep within the forest, safe from enemy patrols. They brought him food, water, and news of the outside world, ensuring his safety while the kingdom was in turmoil. As the days turned into weeks, the king witnessed the resilience and unity of the villagers. They shared their meager resources without hesitation, supporting each other and him in this time of crisis. The king realized that the strength of his kingdom lay not in its riches or military might, but in the bonds of compassion and community that he had helped foster. Eventually, with the help of the villagers and the king's loyal forces who had regrouped, a plan was formed to reclaim the kingdom. The villagers, now skilled and organized, played a crucial role in the strategy. Together, they launched a surprise counterattack, driving the invaders from their land. The kingdom was restored, and the king, forever changed by his experiences, returned to his throne. He decreed that the village be given special recognition and support, ensuring its prosperity for generations to come. The bond between the king and the villagers grew stronger, symbolizing the true spirit of unity and giving. True happiness and fulfillment come from giving selflessly to others. When we share our resources, time, and compassion without expecting anything in return, we create a ripple effect of positivity and joy. that not only enriches the lives of those we help, but also transforms our own hearts and spirits. In times of difficulty, the kindness we have shown returns to us in the most profound and unexpected ways, reinforcing the bonds of community and mutual support. The story of the king and the villagers teaches us that the strength of a community lies not in material wealth or power, but in the genuine acts of compassion and generosity that its members extend to one another. By fostering a culture of giving, we build resilient, supportive networks that can withstand any adversity. The reciprocal nature of generosity ensures that in times of need, those who have given selflessly will be embraced and supported by the very community they once helped.